back to the dinner table. I am your host, as always, Nick, joined by my father.
Hi, everyone. It's Mike here.
We are continuing our James Bond discussion. We are on to Roger Moore. Last week we covered Sean Connery, and, it brought back some memories. And then when we, kind of like always, when you hang up and you move on from this conversation, you start thinking about it, like, oh man, he's pretty. Those were good movies.
Yeah,
they were.
Some of them were good.
Yeah, Never Say Never Again is never a good movie, and Diamonds Are Forever still weird. But the rest of those, to me, I always thought they could go in any particular order, and it's kind of similar with Roger Moore movies.
Definitely, yeah. I think the bulk of these Roger Moore ones are pretty good movies.
Yeah.
It's enjoyed most of them.
It's like they had a proper budget and decent writing.
Yeah.
And some of it was a little goofy, like Jaws, all the Jaws stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the movies.
But we'll start first with a song that you hear 1,000 times in that movie, but Live and Let Die. And that's this Roger Moore's first outing as James Bond.
Yep.
Is that the one? That's New Orleans, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the plot right here.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Several British agents have been murdered, and James Bond is sent to New Orleans to investigate these mysterious deaths. Mr. Big comes to his knowledge, who was a self-producing heroine. And along his journeys, he meets, believe it or not, Tee-Hee, who has a claw for a hand. You remember that character?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I do remember that.
And Baron Samedi.
Yeah,
he's the voodoo master. Yeah. And Solitaire, who's a tarot card reader. And Bond travels New Orleans and deep into the bayou. And there's some... first of all, I talked about Roger Moore for a minute. He was actually considered to be the first Bond.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was on the list. But they thought he was too young.
I can see that.
So they picked Sean Connery over him. But then when Sean Connery finally got rid of him, Roger Moore was the next logical choice, I guess. But, the Bond character is British, and here's another Scotsman, playing James Bond. So, and it's Sir Roger Moore, by the way. He was knighted, too. So I guess when you play James Bond, you got a good chance of getting knighted.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But, I like this one a lot, because I remember Solitaire was Jane Seymour, played by the very lovely Jane Seymour. Yeah. Great actress.
Yeah. This one is, I put this one as a number one Sean Connery movie.
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore movie. Moore. And the reason I did, it's more probably nostalgic, because this was the first and one of only two James Bond movies I ever saw in a movie theater. And it was 1973. I think I was still in high school, or maybe freshly out of high school. And we went to the Caribou Theater, your mom and I and another couple, to see this movie. And we liked it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's one I remember watching with my younger brother Matthew over the summers all the time. Mm-hmm. The stupid little, they flip the car around. They got
a big boat chase in this one.
Yeah, they had that too. And then he had a car thing where he went off a ramp.
Flipped the car.
And then the Sheriff Pepper.
The very racist Sheriff Pepper.
Yeah. Oh man, he says some things you just can't say today.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say today, or even then. But that was just a fun movie. I liked it, and I always laughed how many. It almost became like a drinking game. Every time you hear "Live and Let Die," just take one back. Played by Sir Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, Wings.
Yes, yeah. Classic song.
Yeah.
Later butchered by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Because it went from a nice "Live and Let Die" to "Live and Let Die." Why? Whatever he did, it was terrible version of it. It's number 2 on mine. Mm-hmm. Because my number 1 is a nostalgia number 1. It's my first James Bond ever.
Oh, okay.
And as a kid, I liked Roger Moore because he's the Bond when I was.
Yeah. I like the Sean Connery character a little bit better, I think.
As an adult,
but your mother still likes Sean Connery, or Roger Moore as better than Sean Connery.
Yeah, she liked the more playfulness of him, a little bit more. Yeah. He was much more. I guess I'd say not really suave, but he was different, and he just had a different way of delivering everything. His way he carried himself, his ladies' man stuff was way different than you know, Sean Connery's always kind of do that little slap, you know, slap. You know, he was not at all. You know, much more the ladies' man. I think. I don't know. He was. I liked it. He was my introduction to Bond. Yeah. So I always kind of had a soft spot.
He was mine too, really, in truth, because I don't think I had ever seen any of the Sean Connery movies
until adulthood.
And I always liked the Roger Moore ones, and that's probably what I watched more of than anything. And then finally, I went back and thought I'm going to watch some of these Sean Connery ones because everybody says he's the better Bond, and in some ways he was, you know.
Oh yeah. But
so Roger Moore was my really first exposure to James Bond.
Yeah.
Way back in 1973.
It's 1970. I didn't know it was that old. I always thought he was my generation Bond, but he really wasn't.
He
wasn't. He was before me.
He was probably more mine.
Yeah.
But I like this movie a lot. It's still today even. I didn't like it.
It holds up well, you know, except for the racist sheriff. But you just ignore him. But, you know, that brings us to the 1974's Man with the Golden Gun. That's number 3 on mine. I always loved it. It was Scaramanga, the hitman.
Mm-hmm.
Charges $1 million per job. He has his one golden gun with one golden bullet. They go through a maze and takes him out throughout his carnival-like maze. And he views James Bond as the ultimate target.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, the big showdown there.
Was it drugs too with him, or is it he was just straight up high?
He was trying to steal a powerful solar cell.
Yes.
He was linked to the death of a scientist working on a solar cell, and James Bond is called in to investigate. As he tracks down Scaramanga, he realizes he's highly respected by the killer. Matter of fact, he had a bullet with his name on it.
Yes, he did.
A golden bullet with his name on it. But it will prove to be an advantage, but will it prove to be an advantage in the final showdown? You have to watch the movie to
watch that out. It's excellent. I liked it a lot.
I like it too.
It's number 3. I mean, these 1, 2, and 3s, realistically, I always could kind of flip them.
Yeah, for me, Scaramanga is kind of a weird guy.
And extra nipple.
Oddly, he has an extra nipple there for some reason. I don't know why they put that in the movie, but they did. And
this is the first showing of one of the Bond girls who's in 2 movies. Different character in both movies.
Who's that?
I can't remember her name. I don't have my phone on me. She was Octopussy. And she played in the movie Octopussy, which is another Roger Moore. And she played cannot remember her name in this movie, but I feel like an idiot right now. I knew it, and then we sat down to do this, and I totally brain farted. I thought I wrote it down.
Let's see who's in the movie. Christopher Lee, Britt Eklund, something like that.
Yeah, if you IMDb, or I know
I
what it
didn't
is.
do IMDb.
Yeah. Greatest source for movies ever.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to pay for the good stuff now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Amazon's got a hold of it now.
Which is aggravating.
Yeah, I know.
So let's see.
Yeah, if you look at Octopussy, the main girl.
I didn't look at her.
Oh, okay.
In this movie, Christopher Lee, Maud Adams.
Maybe. I can see her. I know her.
Andrea Anders. Let me take a look.
Let me take a look here. Sorry, I know this is boring radio. I'll cut this out.
We'll try. We should have had this.
Yeah.
That's how professional we are.
Yeah, Maud Adams. Maud Adams is also, if I remember correctly, she is also Octopussy. Let me go back to her. Yep, Octopussy. She's in both.
There you go.
Yeah, she was very good in that one. She was Scaramanga's girlfriend in this one. Yeah.
And also they have Hervé Villechaize welcoming Bond to the island, remember? The little guy. Yeah. Well, he was on that show Fantasy Island.
Yes.
Where he kind of did the same thing. He welcomed people to welcome to Fantasy Island. You know, that was kind of odd.
Yeah, there's the odd choices there, but
but
then they stuffed him in a closet.
Yeah,
kind of messed up.
Yeah, kind of messed up, but I like this movie. This was 3 on my list.
Is it? Yeah, it was 3 on mine as well.
Yeah, this is definitely a top top 5 for sure.
Yeah, this belongs.
Of the 7, yeah.
You know, of the 7 movies, I really think the first 3 or 4, those 3 or 4 are on my list. The 3 or 4 are really interchangeable.
Yeah, me too. As most of my lists.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is a good movie. If you need an introduction to James Bond, you've never watched any, Live and Let Die or Man with the Golden Gun, just about all of these, except we'll get to the bad ones eventually. But
we're gonna actually kind of one that I liked a lot when I was younger, and I remembered it much more fondly. And I originally had it higher, but after we watched it, I was like, I got to redo this Roger Moore list because it doesn't belong there.
Yeah,
and it's The Spy Who Loved Me.
No, that's the next one on the list here.
Yeah, 1977. Yes, his third outing as James Bond. Parts of it are very good. Parts of it are just really bad.
Parts of it are just awful. James Bond is back again with a new mission to find out how a Royal Navy Polaris submarine holding 16 nuclear warheads, we're back to the nukes again, simply disappeared while on patrol. Bond joins Major Anya Amasova and takes on a web-handed mastermind known as Karl Stromberg, as well as his henchman Jaws, this is the first movie that Jaws is in.
Unfortunately,
they brought him back because anyway, he has a mouthful of metal teeth, hence the name Jaws.
Yeah.
And Bond must track down the location of the missing submarine before the warheads are fired.
Mm-hmm.
So this one goes all over the place too. He's in the desert.
He's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. That was one of the things I liked about The Man with the Golden Gun is that they went to Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And having been to Hong Kong a few times, I was kind of like, oh wow.
See, it's Man with the Golden Gun, and for some reason, Live and Let Die. I don't know why. I get them a little bit mixed up sometimes, but this one I used to like it a lot, but now going back and knowing some things,
excuse me,
it's the ending of it is boring as hell.
Well, for some reason we decided to watch this last weekend or the weekend before, and thinking that it was a good movie, and we couldn't find anything else to watch.
Yeah.
So we put this on, and I was about 3/4 of the way through it. I went to bed. I was like, I'm not. You guys can finish this.
Yeah, we did. But the end, it's just it's not as good as I remember. It came in 5 for me.
Me too. I had a number 5. I actually had it higher originally, and then we watched it. And I thought I got to drop this one down because it really wasn't that good. It's not terrible, but it's not good. It's not great.
No.
It's not as good as say Live and Let Die or Man with a Golden Gun.
No, it's definitely way down. In quality, and you can see, like I pointed out, because I see it every time I watch that movie. Yeah. The painting where they couldn't get Roger Moore back, so he comes through the door, leans up against the wall, and the very next shot is actually a painting of him leaning up against the wall. Yeah. And it's so painfully obvious.
Well, once you know it's there, I never noticed it personally. Yeah. Until you pointed it out.
Yeah, I had to stop and go back. Hey, look, see, it's a painting. And even Mom was like, wow.
You can really see it.
Yeah.
It looks like a bulletin board for a James Bond movie.
Yes. It looks like the poster art or something.
But as many times as I've seen this movie, which has been probably a few, I never noticed it.
Yeah, I gotta give credit where that one's due. Kevin Smith does a podcast with Ralph Garman, and they do shit that should not be, or shit you should not see. Yeah. And that was one of the ones I was like, ever since they showed that, it ruined it for me. So the character Jaws too was never my favorite character in these movies. Oh, stupid.
He had the metal teeth. Big dude. I can't remember his name. He died recently.
He was Lurch.
Yeah,
Addams Family?
in the Addams Family. Yeah. And I don't know, he just could bite through cables and not get electrocuted and stuff like that. That was all kind of weird.
Kind of hokey.
Other than that, this is an okay movie.
It's okay. Yeah, it's compared to the first 2 he did, it's not even close. But
I'd probably out of 5, I'd give it 3 stars maybe or something. 2.5, 3 stars. Yeah. But.
Now, speaking of hokey.
Oh, yeah.
1979 Moonraker.
Yeah, they were supposed to release For Your Eyes Only first.
Yeah.
But Star Wars came out, and it was such a hit that they thought, well, we're cooking up a space movie here, so let's put that out before For Your Eyes Only. Because if you watch the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, there's a little thing in there. So James Bond returns for Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He came back in Moonraker. And this is my least favorite of all of these movies.
Oh, yes.
This is number 7 on my list. I'm probably is yours, too.
It is, yeah. I hate this movie. Yeah, I really do. It
says, the plot here, I'll read it off real quick, is James Bond is back for another mission, and this time he's blasting off into space. Yeah. The spaceship traveling through space, traveling through space is mysteriously hijacked, and Bond must work quickly to find out who's behind it all. He starts with the rocket's creator, Drax Industries, and the man behind the organization, Hugo Drax. On his journey, he ends up meeting Dr. Holly, get this, Dr. Holly Goodhead, and encounters the metal-toothed Jaws once again. Once too many, I must say.
Yeah, and this is the one with the weird, Jaws ends up falling in love with a little girl from a young woman. Okay, it's a young woman, but she's like a third his size, if that, I can't remember. From Holland or something. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Kind of weird. It was just weird.
This is one of those movies that I watched once or twice and never watched again. And doing this, I thought about a couple of weeks ago. I thought maybe I should go back and give that a look-see, but I just didn't have the heart to do it because I really don't like this movie.
No, it's not good. To me, it is the worst James Bond.
Yeah, the special effects are really bad, and the whole spaceship thing.
They do a space battle.
It's just...
it's really not a good movie.
I would not recommend this movie, and it's number 7.
It's number 7 for me, and it would be number 23 or 4, whatever the last one.
If we ranked them all, it would be. It wouldn't be near the bottom. But reading the reviews on IMDb, a lot of people like it. I know, it's surprising.
It is a little bit,
but hey, we all have different tastes and different things, and some people hate James Bond, period, to begin with.
Really?
So,
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't either, because they're kind of fun movies.
Yeah. They should have stuck with 1981's For Your Eyes Only, because I do like that movie.
That's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
Let's see. For Your Eyes Only. I had that one as number 4, but it could have been number 3.
Yeah, it was number 4 for me as well.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, the plot of this one, they're all the plots are kind of the same. I don't know why I read them, but after disposing of a familiar-looking face, I'm not sure what that means. Blofeld, yeah. Yep. Bond is sent to recover a communications device known as an ATAC, which went down with a British spy ship as it sunk. Bond must hurry through as the Russians, Cold War time here, are also out for this device. On his travels, he meets Melina Havelock, whose parents were brutally murdered. Yeah, they're murdered on the boat.
I will say, she is my number 2 all-time Bond girl.
Oh, okay.
Always had a thing for her.
Bond also encounters Aristotle Chrysatos.
Yeah,
Boy, I don't remember that character.
I don't remember him either.
And Milos Colombo, each of them accusing the other of having links with the Russians. Bond must team up with Melina to solve who the true allies is and find the ATAC before it's too late. Here's a little trivia I thought I'd conclude here. In this movie's conclusion, remember where he climbs up the cliff?
Yes.
Yeah. Bond uses his shoelaces to create a Prusik knot.
Yeah.
Attaching himself to his climbing rope so he can ascend a mountain.
Yeah.
It's actually more of a cliff than a mountain, but it's pretty high up there. So this technique, which is indeed possible to do with shoelaces, was invented by Austrian mountaineer Karl Prusik and is common amongst climbers. So you watch this movie and think, this is some hokey shit. No, it's real.
It's actually pretty real.
Yeah, the Prusik knot celebrated its 50th anniversary the year the movie was released, having first appeared in an Austrian mountaineering manual for rope ascending in 1931.
I'll be damned.
So there, a little trivia for you.
Trivia. Yeah. No, I always liked that one. That's a good movie. And again, it could have been 2, 3, or 4 for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
it came in at 4 because I just had to put it somewhere. But that Bond girl, Melania, say her name?
Yeah, Melania. I think it's Melania.
Yeah, I've always, as a kid, I was like, damn, I guess I have a thing for brunettes. I have no idea. But I was always like, wow, she was gorgeous.
Melina.
Yeah. Very pretty lady. Always liked her, and she was a pretty good actress in it, and she kind of carried. I think she had like a Greek accent to it. She attempted the Greek accent. I'm not sure.
Yeah, didn't their family wasn't it in the Greek islands where her parents got shot up on a boat on a beautiful yacht and shot that thing up? Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it, and then you got the weird. I know it's a negative term now, but the gypsy people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they call them. I know in England that's a very nasty thing to say, but and you got I think that's where Columbo came in.
I don't know about a Columbo. I don't have that in my notes. Maybe I
wish I could remember. Yeah, Milanus.
Oh yeah, Milos Columbo.
Yeah. I think that's where he comes in.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now.
And then there's like a little war between him and the other faction that's like him. I remember these guys. The Aristotle, which I cannot say that last name. I'm not going to butcher it.
Nope,
Riley's going. Yeah,
must be a motorcycle or something.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll be fine.
But anyway, I like this movie. Like I said, I had it as number 4.
Number 4 for me.
Could have been 2 or 3 actually, but 4 is a good spot for it, I think.
Now we're gonna work in my favorite Roger Moore movie, probably because of nostalgia. 1983's Octopussy. I was 3 years old, but I saw it when I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So 84 or 85, 86. It's my favorite one. It's my first James Bond. Mainly because I remember we went to the air show and they had the little airplane. Tiny airplane.
That was used in the movie.
That was used in the movie. Yeah. And after then I was like, I got to see this movie. That airplane was so tiny and cool. And it was in commercials and all over the place. And then I saw it in the movie.
Yeah, it was a little airplane this guy could carry around in one of those small U-Haul looking trailers, take it out and unfold it and just and take off. Yeah, and it was used in the movie, and that was the same plane, same pilot, I believe. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, I know it was Bond piloting, but
but he didn't really fly. Yeah. But anyway, this one is James Bond's next mission sends him to the circus, and he really did. He played a clown here for his part of it, didn't he?
Which it worked. To be fair, it's
The British agent was murdered, found holding onto a priceless Fabergé egg. Kamal Khan buys the egg at an auction, but Bond becomes suspicious when Khan meets up with the Russian General Orlov.
Mm-hmm. Bond
soon finds out that Khan and Orlov's plan is to blow up a nuclear device on a U.S. Air Force base. I think this base is in Germany, if I remember right.
Yes.
And Bond teams up with a circus group, which are headed by the beautiful Octopussy, great name, who is also a close friend of Khan. So she's kind of playing both ends against the middle, as some of these Bond girls do. You know, they're could be good, could be bad. But the only thing I don't like about this movie, to me, it's a little long.
It is. It is.
They could have trimmed it up a little bit. I get a little bored through the middle of it, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It could have been number 1 on my list too.
Yeah.
It was. I had to pick a number 1, and it was Live and Let Die for me. But it's good.
It's the first Bond movie I ever saw, and I think it just kind of stuck there, because of that. And that's the first time I saw these gadgets. I'm like, that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
And I can't remember his car in that one. It was probably an Aston Martin or a Lotus, one of the two. He only used those two brands.
Yeah. He didn't use the BMW, which aggravates the shit out of me.
Yeah, it aggravates me. But
anyway.
One of the biggest knocks on the Pierce Brosnan movies. But they fixed it pretty quick. But yeah, I don't know. It was my first introduction to Bond, the little airplane. I was like, this is cool as hell. It had a little bit of violence and good action.
Yeah.
Maud Adams there is back as Octopussy. Very pretty lady, good actress herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a great job in it as well, playing kind of the double role. And it was a really good movie. And I forgot it was in Germany on Air Force Base. That's right. I totally forgot about it. Yeah. He was always getting tied in with the Americans, this man.
Yeah. And then Bond stops the nuclear device at 007.
Oh, yeah. Always does. Always stops the nuclear device at 007.
Did he have to cut a wire in this one?
I don't remember. I remember my favorite one is Goldfinger. When he's like, I don't know what to do, and the guy just walks over and click.
Shuts
it off at
yeah.
007.
Yeah,
I think maybe this one had to have been he had to cut the wire.
He had to cut the wire. Didn't know which wire to cut. And I always sit there and go, just cut them all.
Just cut them all.
Just cut them all. It doesn't matter. Cut them all.
Cut power to it.
Yeah, just cut. But anyway.
yeah, no, I don't know. It's very good. It does, for me, get a little boring on the circus stuff. They could have cut some of that out.
Yeah, they could have cut some of that out. But overall, I enjoy this movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I recommend it. It's a good introduction to Bond, too, if you've never watched a Bond movie. This would be a good one.
Yeah, it's just everything about it. You're kind of everywhere again. It's a lot of fun. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one I find is gravely underrated. 1985's A View to a Kill.
Yeah, I don't know. I had this one as number 6.
I do it for me, too. But it's still,
actually, it's not a bad movie.
It's still a really good movie. It's one with Christopher Walken, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he plays a guy named Zoran.
Yeah, and Mayday is Grace Jones.
Yep.
And that's good. I can't remember who was the woman. I can't remember the Bond girl in this one. I'm having a brain fart. I probably should have watched this one again. It's been a while.
I can't remember her name.
Oh, Stacey Sutton is the character's name.
Yeah, it's on the list here. It says James Bond is on one more mission. Has one more mission. And actually, this was Roger Moore's last movie.
Yes, it was.
I do believe. Bond returns from his travels in the USSR with a computer chip. The chip is capable of withstanding a nuclear electromagnetic pulse that would otherwise destroy a normal chip. The chip was created by Zoran Industries, and Bond heads off to investigate its owner, Max Zorin. Zorin may only seem like an innocent man, but he's really planning to set off an earthquake in the San Andreas, which will wipe out all of Silicon Valley. As well as Zorin, Bond must also tackle Mayday, which to me is a little silly. Mayday thing is...
Yeah, maybe.
And an equally menacing companion of Zorin.
Yeah.
Who is Mayday is an equally menacing companion of Zorin while dragging Stacey Sutton along for the ride.
Wasn't she a Olympic? But yeah, I always liked this movie.
Yeah,
I've watched it many
times.
times.
Maybe I should have ranked it higher.
Yeah, I'm now thinking about it. I put it at 6. I probably should have
6.
swapped it with The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's actually pretty good. And you can get all the way through it. Again, James Bond somehow in America.
And the Zorin character is pretty good.
Yeah, plus you get to hear Christopher Walken. It's James Bond. He has that weird cadence. I love it.
This is a good one.
He will destroy you. I love it. He's great. But no, that is... Yeah, I gotta put that higher. You know what? We're gonna swap. I'm gonna swap it. We're gonna go with Spy Who Loved Me at 6, and then we're gonna move that one up to 5.
Yeah.
Those five Bond, Roger Moore movies are very interchangeable.
Actually, all of those Roger Moore movies, except for me personally, Moonraker, are all pretty good.
Yeah.
I just never liked Moonraker. The first time I saw it, I thought, this is some hokey shit here.
Especially after Star Wars.
Why did they do that? Because Star Wars came out. It's got nothing to do with...
And it's not the same.
Star Wars is not, not nearly as good a movie, for one thing.
No, Star Wars is... head and shoulders above it. But it's... I don't know. Yeah, Octopussy is probably still my favorite. His View to a Kill, I might have to move up over. That's a good movie. I have to watch that one again.
Yeah,
that's a really good movie. Sorry, but yeah, those are our Roger Moores.
Roger Moore was a pretty good James Bond.
He was definitely up there.
Was he as good as Sean Connery? Pretty close.
Yeah, it's different. He just did it differently.
Yeah.
He was
a little more cartoonish, maybe. That's the right word.
Yeah.
A
little bit more comedy.
Cliche, I guess.
Yeah, I think, and we'll get to him here after, actually probably next week, with Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan. I felt Brosnan was more Roger Moore-like than...
Yeah.
And I think maybe Dalton, I have a feeling Dalton's a little bit more Connery.
I have no idea.
I'm really curious.
I gotta watch one.
Yeah, we might be a little late on this next one because we want to watch Timothy Dalton. This is the blind spot for me. I've never seen these movies.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
I might have, but I don't remember. But we're going to do those next week. And along with Pierce Brosnan. I'd like to see, again, Tomorrow Never Dies. I have that number 1. Well, I'll give that away, but sorry. But I want to make sure I'm right on that.
I haven't ranked them yet.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure on that one.
Yeah.
And then after that, we get to after the week after that, we'll have just Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
And and a fun fact there is the same thing happened to Henry Cavill. He was gonna be Bond where Daniel Craig was, but he was too young.
Yeah.
Even now they're free for it. And everyone's going, "Are you gonna do Henry now?" He's like, "No, now he's too old." And he's like, "Really?"
Are they gonna do more? I think
Yeah,
I asked that question last week, and I never looked into it.
I know they're searching. I just don't know.
But Bond died in the last movie.
Yeah, reboot. I mean, this is the era of everything being rebooted.
Yeah.
They'll probably have a whole new. They're probably redoing everything. A whole new M. Whole new. Well, M is.
Yeah, she can't do it anymore.
Well, she's gone.
Oh, that's right.
But the guy who played M was Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last couple.
Yeah.
And he's very good. Very good. They're great actor.
Yeah, we'll talk about those when we get there. But,
yeah. But so that's it for Roger Moore. I think he's very good. I like him a lot. One of my favorite Bonds.
A lot of these movies originally were some of my favorite Bond movies, but
I think quality.
I still like Dr. No a little better than some of these movies.
Dr. No, Goldfinger, Thunderball. Those are still might be better. But he was my intro was Roger Moore. Mm-hmm. And he was Bond to me probably my whole youth. I used to get into arguments with kids like, no, Sean Connery's better. I'm like, no, he's not. I was a little kid. Because I didn't know Sean Connery Bonds. I never saw him. I only saw Roger Moore. I don't know how. I guess Mom, she
liked Roger Moore.
Yeah, so she always had those ones on.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for Mr. Moore. Has he got something else going on?
I don't think so. Check these movies out if you're interested in James Bond, or if you've already seen them and you disagree with us. Let us know why. And maybe
tell us why Moonraker's good.
Yeah. Somebody tell me why.
Yes, I dare you.
I mean, that thing to me is just god awful.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't think it's good, but that's just me.
To me, though, it's the only dud in this group.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple duds. Diamonds Are Forever and Never Say Never Again with Connery.
You Only Live Twice.
You Only Live Twice is not very good. Those last three Connerys, Roger, even when he was stepping out, never stepped down his playing of the character's portrayal. Yeah. He always maintained his...
Yeah.
He wasn't tired of it. He might have been tired of it, but he didn't play like he was tired of it. And I always got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, well, he also played in a TV show called The Saint.
Oh, he did?
And it was kind of a Bond-like thing, secret agent kind of movie. I think it was a British show, but I remember seeing it on... Maybe it was an American show. I don't know. I heard of it. I don't know if I ever watched it. But, so he had a little experience there.
Doing the spy.
Not quite the James Bond spy, but the...
All right. Well, catch us probably next week. We'll try to knock out one of these Timothy Daltons to kind of give us a good idea of the character.
Yeah.
Pearson, I know him. Dad, he's a little bit of a blind spot for you, so we'll watch another one of his. So you can
Pierce Brosnan? Yeah, I got a story about these movies. When I was flying home from Saudi Arabia, my last deployment, we were on a charter airline, and we flew from Saudi Arabia to Sigonella, Sicily, and something happened to the plane. Plane broke down, so we had to spend the night in Sigonella. Mm-hmm. And most of the next day, they were flying a part in to fix it. So they got the plane fixed, and we take off, and the people there, the chartered people were all apologetic. They knew we wanted to go home. We'd been stuck in Saudi Arabia for a couple of months, and time to go. 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was. And so they said, okay, all the drinks are on us, and we have the latest James Bond movie. Which I can't remember which one it was. It's 1997, 98, so it might have been Tomorrow Never Dies. And I thought, oh, great, a new James Bond movie. I get to watch that. And so I order a beer, and I get my beer set in front of me, and the movie's starting. And next thing I know, the flight attendant's waking me up saying, hey, we're landing in Ireland. So I fell asleep. I didn't even take a sip out of my beer. I was so tired. And it was just good beer. I just wasted that, and I missed the whole damn movie. And it was like, I'll never forget that.
But that one, we'll get you kind of back up to speed on those. But that's all I got to this week.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. If not, sorry. But nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful week. I'll get this out, and might be a little bit late, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we'll pick this up next week or do something different.
We'll figure it out. Because it's all depending if we can get this Timothy Dalton and the Pierce Brosnan one in here.
Yeah, we can probably do that.
We could probably do that. I mean, hell, we've been watching the same show for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So, just, hey, look, we're doing this one tonight. All right, everyone, have a wonderful week.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
All right. Thanks, and bye-bye.
Bye.